All right, I think we're back up and running. Test. Look at this go. Yes. All right. Let's see how this works. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but basically the stream turned off. I rushed to put it back on, and I think we're good to go now. I'll be keeping an eye on the signal to make sure that I'm still streaming, but I'm not really, I'm not really entirely sure what just happened there. But anyway, I'll start from the beginning here because I'm not entirely sure when everything cut off. But yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'm not entirely sure what happened. But basically, Bitcoin is still in this uptrend. My support level right now is definitely going to be the 40,222 level. If Bitcoin breaks down below that, I am going to turn pretty bearish, at least for a short amount of time. There's a few things I wanted to talk to you guys about besides the normal stuff. So you guys know that the MACD is about to cross over here. It hasn't crossed over yet, so we're not bearish yet. We see momentum slowing down, but that's not really a terrible thing during a consolidation period. We see the stochastic has already turned bearish. That's fine. It could always turn bullish later on, but everything, and even the RSI, has turned bearish, but not everything is turning bearish, or not everything is bullish right now. And you can kind of see that just based off of your own eyes. You can see how the charts are moving sideways here. And hey, yeah, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. It just turned off, and all of a sudden I saw YouTube gave me an alert saying no connection, and I was like, so I rushed to fix it, but I know it's going to mess up the notifications now because everybody's going to be notified of the video that's already done. It's okay. It's a Tuesday. It is what it is. But here are some things I want you guys to consider right now, because my philosophy going into this week, really, I talked about this on the Telegram channel, was basically this sideways move is not really fitting my trading style at the moment. So I'm just going to sit on my hands and maybe do a few day trades here and there, and see where that takes me. On the weekly chart, we're kind of in a mixed bag, but I would say overall we're still bullish because we haven't had the breakdown yet. I thought the breakdown might occur over the weekend because everything was, screaming bearish and so forth, but we managed to hold the order block and really not much else happened. Maybe we were just waiting for the weekly charts to turn over as well, and that's probably, I got ahead of myself a little bit there. But let's go over here to the daily chart. You can see how we managed to get back above that 50-day moving average. That's the part where I didn't think we were going to be doing that today. Once I saw some strength earlier this morning, I sent out a message and told you guys about it, but really I was pretty surprised. So over the next few hours, the next couple days, I would expect some type of higher low to form, and then I don't think we're going to be breaking out to $50,000 anytime soon unless we have some big news, and it would probably have to happen later on in the week. Again, if we have big news, of course we can pump. We've seen it happen lots of times before. But it's just something where I'm like, when it happens, I'll be there to kind of see it. But you can see right there between the 50 and the 20-day moving averages, we're going to have a death cross. And those death crosses to me are pretty reliable. I know we're kind of in the midst of a bull market here, so let me just explain. Historically, they haven't been the best. We've had a little bit of drops-offs right here between the 20 and the 200. The 20 and the 50, much more reliable. 20 and 50, much more reliable. 20 and the 200, really not as reliable. So I'm going off that 20 and 50 right now, the green and the blue line basically. But what I wanted to go over is all the way back over here during the last big bull market that we had, 2021, a while ago now. We did have times where we did have these breakdowns, and all we were doing was consolidating before another leg up and before another leg up. So that's still a possibility here. The one thing that I'll just mention is it still gave you the buy signal on all the oscillators when you needed to make that move. So that's kind of where I'm at. And also go over here to weeklies. I don't have all the data on here because of where we're at, because this chart, but everything was still green on the weeklies by the time we wanted to hop back up here. And so even if I'm sitting on my hand, I can just hop back on when the momentum starts, and I can do my day trades during that momentum. I can do my swing trades during that momentum, and I overall just feel a lot safer as an investor, because right now I'm not making the best trade. So I'm gonna, not stop, but basically slow it down a little bit here just until we get some momentum one way or the other. I'm not afraid to short here, but man, there's not really much to short. There's not really much to go long on unless you guys are maybe doing some scalps. But look at this. I took a day trade this morning. I was like, oh, okay, it looks like we're going to try to break out above this level. It looks like we're going to try to go a little bit higher. And so, but I put my stop loss right there. No, I put my stop loss right here. And it didn't matter. It got me. It got me, right? And of course, we ended up going higher, but that's not the point. The point is I didn't make any money off of that. In fact, I lost money off of it. So that type of stuff is happening too much for me. And normally, you know, I've been having that support level kind of around 41,005 or over here around 41,700. You know, I'm getting a little skittish, I think, about this market just because I'm waiting for what I think is going to be a pretty substantial downward move, but we haven't had everything kind of point to that direction yet. So kind of just being patient. Now, one of the reasons you guys know I'm kind of turning bearish all of a sudden after we had a really strong move is basically because that inflation data, trading economics, and that's going over here. There we go. It's that uptick to 3.4. I told you guys that normally this really starts to affect the market about a week to 2 weeks after. Sometimes it's a week. I would say normally it's a week. Sometimes it's a little bit more. We haven't hit a week just yet, but we had a holiday, right? So this does cause me some concern, more concern than just the technicals here. And then I made a video earlier today talking about, whoa, this isn't good. And basically that went over to the dollar index. And you see what's happened since last week. We've started to break out all of a sudden. And now we're looking at the 200 daily moving average. And we're going to have a golden cross pretty soon between the 20 and the 50. I was hoping this death cross right here might do something for us. Although I guess moving averages aren't really the best thing when it comes to these types of forex charts and things like that, indexes. But well, let me see. Do we really have much to do with the 50 and the 200? A little bit, not really much here. Not really much. A little bit. A little bit. They're decently reliable, I would actually say. So maybe that will save us a little bit here. But right now you're seeing that the dollar is spiking. Let me go over here to the 1 hour chart. And you'll see things are really starting to take off here, which is not a good sign. And those type of environments, you do see the entirety of the market, Bitcoin, or, you know, crypto as a whole, and then the stock market also falling down. Today, Bitcoin did fine. This is the, you know, we're kind of back to where we started, honestly. But we're doing okay, I would say. Doing okay, better than expected. The Dow Jones, it's teetering. NASDAQ, still doing just fine. I don't know if you guys heard about AMD, Blockbuster today, just pumping up there. I think the worst stock was, oh, what's that bad boy's name? Spirit Airlines. And they had some issues with their their buyout because they were trying to get bought out by JetBlue. That's for another day. Then you got the SPY over here, still doing okay as the day went on, right? Dollar index though, last few days, definitely going up. I'm waiting to see if this actually decides to break the stock market and actually make it come back down. And again, no crashes, nothing dramatic like that. Although Bitcoin may look dramatic, but from a dollar to, you know, dollar price range, it's not going to be so dramatic. But that's basically what I'm looking for. On the more positive side of things, remember, Bitcoin is still in a bearish overall move when it comes to the weekly charts. That's pretty nice. Ethereum, I would say, is the most bullish at this point. You can see that it's looking ready to go. Really, my only issue with this is it's such horrible timing. Why would it try to break out right before Bitcoin's looking to go down? But I'm hoping that I'm wrong about Bitcoin, therefore Ethereum can actually make its way higher. You can go over here to the 4 hour chart, stretch this out. It just had a buy signal, everything raring to go, literally just the last 4 hour candle. To me, you could be buying into this. You're just breaking out of an order block. You might have a short-term resistance around 2684 or somewhere along those lines. You know, I don't think I'm going to take it. I'm just too worried about what Bitcoin's going to do right now because, to me, when you go over here to these moving averages, whether it's a daily or whatnot, it's just going to lead to a lot of volatility, and this volatility usually scares some people off. Today, we could be a very volatile green day. In fact, if I were to give it a chance, I would actually say we have a 60% chance of going up today. Not the best, not the worst, but it's enough for some people to go long here. But you could see that we could easily break above this 20-day moving average and have a massive spike on top of that. everybody would be very excited, and it would go back into that theory of making a new higher, a lower high in this new sequence right here, not breaking out above this anytime soon because we still might have to consolidate, but still making a lower high, which then we can consolidate a little bit more, give people more opportunities to buy and go long and have some fun doing some day trading. Or we can definitely just be smacked back down below the 50-day moving average here, where if you guys remember, let me see if I can actually pull this up so you guys can see a little bit easier. So all you're going to see here is the 50-day. There you go. You can see how we've been getting smacked down below this. And even today we got smacked down below it. We could always get smacked down below it again. So you guys are going to have to give yourself a pretty generous stop loss. Ethereum was also smacked down here at the same time. So that's why I'm just saying, be careful if you guys are going to go all out. It's not a bad idea to go and have some fun doing some longs, doing some trading. But for me, it's just not my typical environment here for this type of trade. Put this back up, put that back up, and I think we're good. SMA, do I got the MA here? And 200 in there. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah, there's a few tokens that were moving, I think, yesterday. For yesterday's candles, not too much now. I believe they were... Ooh, I don't recall. Oh, Chili's right here. Yeah, Chili's had a pretty nice move. It's actually making some higher moves here relative to a lot of other tokens, which is pretty nice. It's been rare for a lot of these tokens to make new relative highs for the, for the year. Mostly everything else, AVAX, everything's still a little bit slower than where it was. But I mean, come on, AVAX had a really good day. Doge on Mars, still not as high. Engine token, not as high as it was. EOS, not as high. If you guys were looking to go long, I'd be going long against those ones. And looking at stuff like an EOS, which is like basically getting rejected by these levels, these moving averages, I'd be looking for those pops for today only, which means the next, 22 hours, 21 hours, 15 minutes, basically. All right, now let me put this on the 15-minute chart. We'll kind of watch it as we go along here. This order block just looks nasty because of that sharp move on the downward side, but I think we'll survive. It looks like we even want to go up a little bit more here. Let's see. But hey, Larry, I saw your message about Regeneron. It seems like it's moving up pretty well. I have a little bit of it, but I don't know. Eventually, I'm gonna have to shave some of that sucker off. It's moving up too fast for me. But you have to leave some in there. Oh shit! Sorry guys. Sorry guys about that. Oh gee, yeah, this is all messed up. Well, anyway, you could imagine what I was saying, I guess, right? Display chart. Sorry, I've been dealing with a migraine. My brain has been turned off. I literally just took 3 whole Tylenol 500 milligram things before this. Okay, I'll reiterate this. I think you guys have heard me say a lot of this stuff at the same time, so I will speed this up, I promise. Support right now for Bitcoin, 40,222. If we break down below that, turn bearish immediately. Be very, very careful because altcoins will crash during that time. Bullish on the weekly charts, we're overall still bullish. We are turning more neutral and even bearish in some circumstances. That is very concerning. The dollar index has started to spike off of the inflation data spiking as well. That's also not good because historically when that happens, you see that Bitcoin also decides to go down. You see that the stock market also likes to go down. And as far as everything else is concerned, we're basically just making sure that the dollar index doesn't continue to kind of blow up here because we're about to have some golden crosses. We haven't had golden crosses with the dollar index on the 4-hour chart for a while. That could definitely start a new chain here of higher lows, which could also bring in some higher highs. And of course, that brings the entire market down. Ooh, let me time that out though. 10 seconds. Does that work? There we go. Just get rid of all those messages. What's right here? Okay, there we go. I'd say do not sell any of it. This thing is like Netflix 14 years ago. Yeah, I know, but I always like to take some profits off the table. It's just the way I am when it comes to these types of plays. I could always re-enter, but that thing has been moving up too much, too fast, and I always get pretty paranoid about it. And then again, guys, on the daily chart, there's a good chance, I would say, what did I say, 60% chance? There's a good 60% chance that Bitcoin tries to blow a small top off here, and we try to break back above $44,000 today, leading to $1,000 plus day. All right, 60% chance in my mind, just because of the way the overall market's going. I'm a little bit skeptical. However, you're seeing momentum trend back into that direction after the last few days, and we're at the 20-day moving average. To me, that says, hey, we're going to be spiking here pretty soon. I don't think that's going to cause, oh, what is this from? This must be from something a while ago. This, to me, this doesn't mean we're making all-time highs or like 50, or not all-time, but we're not making $50,000 like tomorrow or something or the day after. It just means we're making a new lower high somewhere over here, maybe between 44, 45, 46, 47,000 even over the next few days, and that could be a really good move. That death cross is still coming. That's not a good sign, but until we break down below 40,222, I'm not going to be so bearish here, because being bearish has just not been working out for me over the past few days. And just be careful of that 50-day moving average. Basically, all of these spikes were breaking down below the 50-day moving average. I won't pull it back up here, but yeah, that's really the thing going on right now, guys. So let me put this on the 15-minute chart. There we go. And actually, I had to put on the 4-hour chart. The 15-minute chart's so boring that nothing's been happening, actually. It's just been a volatile, it's been a very slow few days. I think everybody was taking the holidays off. What's it here? Hey, Larry, that's a much better average than I have. What do you call, I think mine's like maybe an extra like 200 bucks on top of that. Hey, Carl, you're not selling any Bitcoin? I mean, if you're long-term holding right now, I don't really think you have to. Really, the only people that would have been selling right now are really people that bought maybe like a month ago or 2 months ago, and they're just like reevaluating their positions. But typically they would have already sold by now. They're not many people are holding. You know, if you're really holding right now for a swing trade, you've already scaled out a bit and you're basically just waiting to see what happens next. Usually when we have this teetering off moment, it's either a moment of, you know, strong support or strong resistance, and then we have a pretty large move after a consolidation that's been taking this long. This consolidation's been taking, what, like almost a month and a half at this point. We've pretty much been going sideways. Like Bitcoin right now is at 43,157. If I just back up a little bit, this is a 4-hour chart, granted, right? If I back up over here, we were here December 5th, you know? So it's not bad. We managed to make new highs during that time, but we really haven't had that big explosion, that explosion that we were hoping for. And honestly, I don't necessarily attribute that blame to Bitcoin or anything else out there. You know, like from a technical perspective or a fundamental perspective, I think a lot of it was just the mismanagement of the SEC actually like giving the information out. Because remember, like, we had been counting down for this for such a long time, and then all of a sudden the person who controls the Twitter account doesn't have two-factor authentication, so their account gets hacked or their phone gets hacked, access to the phone, whatever that means. And then from there they put out a fake message, right? That causes Bitcoin to spike. A few minutes later, Gary Gensler comes out and says, no Bitcoin approval, that account was compromised. Then we had the spit spat where the SEC said that it was Twitter's fault or X's fault. Then X came back with the receipts saying, no, it wasn't our fault, and your guys didn't even have two-factor identification. And then all of a sudden, it gets announced for the second time, but people were not as excited about it because all that money had gone in the first time, and a whole bunch of people had lost money very, very quickly. So, of course, after something like that, you're just a little bit more hesitant, and you kind of just take your wins or you take your losses, and you just kind of move on there, right? So, but by now, most people are definitely going to be sold out of the market. There's no reason to be really hopping in here for a swing trade at this point, unless it starts to break down below 40,222, or perhaps you see the daily signals actually start turning more bullish. Right now they're bearish, but you know, if we hold here for maybe another day and a half, 2 days, you're going to see those daily charts actually turn bullish, and you're going to see a pretty nice move out of it. Again, not an all-time, not a new yearly high type of move, but still a pretty respectable move where you're going to see Bitcoin going up a few $1,000s, people making money off of it, and then from there we'll either get another pump up or we'll get, you know, decimated back down to where we are right now, kind of around that $43,000 level. Market cap is only $100 billion. It's a $1 trillion company. Oh yeah, it's definitely good for a long-term hold. I'd probably rather hold it in my retirement account and stuff like that. But I'm about to go through a little bit of a shuffle here. I think this year this quarter I'm getting out of tech. and I'm gonna start hunkering down into some low volatility plays. I might even put a little bit more money in oil for dividends, but I'm not entirely sure about the oil play just yet. I'm kind of waiting to see how all this Middle East and Europe stuff shakes out, because those wars have been going on for a while. And think of the momentum of wars. It seems like wars are becoming more and more prevalent, or just, what do you even call that across the world? Disorder. Yeah, something like disorder, I guess. And even with what happened over in Ecuador and stuff like that, what do you call it? It's just the world's kind of in a downward spiral right now, and we're all kind of flushing down the toilet together. Oh, and hey, Ken, happy to see you. Can you do some fundamentals on Tesla? Yeah, I mean, well, let me actually see this very fast. Has Tesla actually come out with any news here? Oh, forgot what he called Finviz. I zoomed in a lot here. Oh yeah, 175. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I gotta zoom out. This is confusing. Okay. I hate their new setup. I don't like it at all. Look at that. It's bouncing off support. Let me just try to put 2 and 2 together for you. Oh, damn, I messed this up, didn't I? It's not in the right order. That's okay. Oh, yeah, I have that trend line already. Yeah, so right now you definitely see Tesla bouncing off support. You might have an opportunity for a breakout later on if we do a move, but remember, this was the last breakout, and it was complete shit, to be honest. I don't trade Tesla normally. I'm pretty frank that the chart doesn't work with me too much. However, you are seeing everything turn bearish here on the weekly chart. To me, that's not really a great sign. The daily chart, a little bit different, still all the way bearish, but if we bounce, momentum shifts back up, and then maybe we have an opportunity to flip those weekly charts back up somehow, potentially. So overall, technicals are bearish. Now going over here to Tesla, there you go. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of ads on here because I can't block them. Maybe I should just go to ChatGPT for this one. Plugins. Let's see, trader. No, not technical analysis. Let me see if it'll give me anything. I haven't looked at Tesla in freaking ages. Okay, not like that. News and fundamentals for the last quarter. Alright. I tried to ask for some, and it basically just said name. Here's the sector. Here's the industry. Like, you know, not really useful information. Alright, I'm looking for it right now, though. Let me have this up here. ChatGPT, I felt like, has been getting dumber every single month that I've had it. It's really been used as more of a... It doesn't feel innovative. It feels like an assistant nowadays. Oh, it's trying to come up with it here. But really, I don't see Tesla going to do much crazy stuff over the next year from a fundamental standpoint before I get into this, just because I think Elon is probably going to sell off more stock. I think also what you're going to see happening, and oh, there's some stuff here, but I'll talk about that in a second. I don't think they're going to be selling as many cars because I do think the economy is going to slow down, not crash, but just slow down here. There's also been that news about him wanting a more stock, and or he's going to be taking some of his AI ideas outside of Tesla and trying to do more AI outside of it, basically, which means the revenue, the money, the valuation for that type of company would be outside of Tesla, and that wouldn't be in Tesla's best interest. And then you know, you do see the market getting ready to be flooded by a bunch of Hertz Tesla cars. I don't necessarily think they're going to sell all too well, to be honest. There might be a few people that want to buy them, but when I saw the mileages on those cars, a lot of them were like around 50 to 80,000 miles. Typically, the best thing to do if you want to buy a Tesla is buy it brand new, so you can keep all the warranties and stuff like that. But let me see what they have here as far as that's concerned. But those are just some of the things that pop to mind when I kind of read through news articles and stuff. This will probably be a little bit more detailed. Let's see. This really wasn't that good of information. I mean, here's some recent news, I guess. Concerns about Tesla products performance and potential product recalls. I haven't heard about too many recalls, but I know it's like kind of a more of an update recall, not necessarily like you got to take it in, they got to tinker with parts, but I could be wrong there. Risk of product liability claims, competition to automotive and energy product markets, importance of maintaining public credibility and confidence in long-term business prospects, challenges in managing various product financing programs. Really, I don't really see much in here that would really interest you. I don't know. See, oh, okay. This is probably going to be the best thing. I mean, ChatGPT couldn't get any of this stuff out of here, which really sucks. So, total automotive revenues are down a little bit in Q3 2023. That's not the best, but it's not terrible. It's still better than what it was in 2022. Q4 2022 is blockbuster though, and we saw how big the stock market went off that. Energy generation and storage revenue, that's getting better, so they're making more money with that. Probably because more cars are on the streets, and basically they're all going to Tesla centers. Services and other revenue, that one's about the same, not really crazy, not really bad. Revenues are okay, not great. Total gross profit though, down 22% year over year. Wow, that's not great. Gross margin down 719 basis points. Operating expenses 43. Oh, why did their operating expenses get so high? They must be investing in some stuff right now. That's probably what they're doing. Stockholders, yeah. Total revenue grew 9% year over year. Profitability decreased year over year, 1.8 billion in Q3, resulting in a 7.6 operating margin. That's not bad. Here we go. So the production was down a little bit. So you see them slowing down just a tad. They were on a pretty good trajectory of like growth. That growth is really slowing down, and that's basically what I'm seeing from a lot of their data right now. It's not a terrible thing, but usually in those environments when everybody is looking for a high growth stock, it looks like this is kind of falling out of that category right now. And on top of all the AI craze, I would say probably best to avoid Tesla for now, just because you see those technicals here all kind of pointing to more downward moves. If we have a sustained bounce here, maybe with a good earnings coming out, that could be your goal. But you know, earnings comes out in about 8 days or so. If it's a surprise on the upside, you should see it spike pretty well. But based on the way the data has been going, it'll probably still be slowing down here a little bit, which even may beat expectations. But I think overall, you're eventually going to have a breakdown here, and it'll probably come back down towards 200. I'd be more willing to buy around that spot, especially since the market's overall is teetering at this point, just because of the inflation data and stuff like that. All right, let me put Bitcoin back on here. I forgot we have to put the 4-hour chart because the 15-minute chart is so sideways that you can't see anything going on. what's it here? Fundamentals, yeah. Yeah. But it would still be okay to dollar cost average it, but if you're trading it, you gotta be careful with it. I invested in Tesla, I think, a couple months ago just because that those robots. They even showed them fold and close a few days ago. Matic, please. Why has it died down a couple weeks? A lot of altcoins have died down because nothing has really been happening after the spot Bitcoin ETF. You know, it's been kind of boring. And you know, if you look at Matic right here, let's go to the weekly chart. You know, it had a few spikes over the last few weeks. It's just consolidating right now. It's kind of, you know, you can't expect everything to just go up higher and higher and higher. At this point, you see the stochastic bearish, the RSI bearish, the MACD doing okay. The daily charts, you have everything bearish, unfortunately, but there's an opportunity for it to pick back up. You know, watch for that breakout or that breakdown below the order block, and that'll kind of tell you which way you're going. It looks like you're going to have a death cross here, which isn't the best thing, but if Bitcoin can hold, I think you may have an opportunity for this, like a few other plays out there, to actually have a pop. But yeah, not the best chart, I grant you. This is the daily chart here, but you know, it's not like these swings are nothing. This move from here to here was 45%. That's pretty nice. But so far, you're just kind of at the end of a consolidation. It might take a few more days or maybe at most a week before it decides where it wants to go. But it still looks solid. Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't look like it's about to crumble or anything. You basically just look at, there's a strong level of support right here. Have the order block held once, held twice. Maybe it'll hold 3 times, maybe. But then you have a resistance level up here. 1, 2, made the resistance. 3, got rejected. Maybe 4th time over here. You have an opportunity to actually break out. Basically, if it breaks out, you buy. If it breaks down, you sell. But honestly, if it starts to break down, I don't even know if I would try to short into this just because it hasn't been working out for me the past few weeks, past few months at this point. I'd be more interested in going long on the breakout here. 4-hour chart, kind of bearish as well. Yeah, it's not the best move here. You don't even have any good change of characters. 2-hour chart. No, like it's just been sideways, kind of actually like Bitcoin today, but a lot of sideways action. But yeah, there's no real big reason. I don't even think there's been much news about Matic over the past few weeks. I don't think at all. They need to start chugging out more personnel. They need to get more content creators to promote them. I've been seeing a lot of content creators over the past few weeks just shill a whole bunch of coins. They can be large market cap coins or small market cap coins, but basically the way it works for influencers, if we latch onto a coin and we promote it, the community usually will rally around us. I learned about that through Dogecoin actually. So, you know, I bought Dogecoin. I was like, oh, I bought some. I'll talk about it online a little bit. You know, I wasn't really a streamer back then, but I turned into one based off of it. I really haven't latched onto a coin since, although I do have my favorites. Nah, my boy, the future looks bright. I hope so. I really hope we can see Bitcoin go up here from here. Hey, Larry, are you turning into World Economics Forum that started this week? I'm always up to find out what Klaus Schwab is up to. No, I haven't had a chance to look at it just yet. I was watching a couple of YouTube videos on it, but I haven't had a chance to kind of watch all the big speakers. I know the algorithm kept on pushing me to look at Zelensky and the other guy, I can't recall his name. YouTube has a bunch of stuff on here. If you go to CNBC, have anything on here? Is that? Hold on a second. Here, let me see if I can find it. I forget his name. What the heck is going? Here we go. All right, so CNBC. I forget the guy's name, but I literally just watched a video of him a few minutes ago. Here we go. Ray Dalio. So I've watched him. Sometimes he says some really informative stuff. Other times he just says a whole bunch of nothing, but he sounds smart, but he's not saying anything. Basically what the gist was is, you know, there are economic concerns for the future. There are headwinds that are going to cause issues. Inflation is going to be an issue. If Trump wins, there's going to be market problems. If Biden wins, there's going to be market problems. and he tries to put it into like a worldwide perspective of like, okay, America in decline, what does that mean, climate change, all that type of stuff. I didn't find it actually this interview wasn't his best, if you ask me. I need to watch more of these, but a lot of these interviews, I saw a few when I was watching CNBC Live this morning. They're all saying stuff that you could hear talking to your friend, you know, by the water cooler. If you're kind of like watching a YouTube channel out there, they're not giving me nuggets of information. They're all really basic stuff. Maybe the Chevron CEO, maybe he'll say something that I would like, but you know, energy transition and oil prices, I expect oil prices to go up. I expect him to say something similar. This war in Ukraine, this war in Gaza, this war now in Yemen, it's not really doing anything to help oil prices, as you guys might imagine. And you know, we'll see. I think Biden's gonna have to turn a little bit more anti-oil here, because he's turning off his more progressive members by being so pro-Gaza in the war, pro-Israel. He is not pro-Gaza at all. Pro-Israel in the war, and on top of that, he started to pump out a lot more oil, which has been good for the average consumer, I would say. I think we've all enjoyed having lower gas prices, even if we had to, you know, take them and drag kicking and screaming to start pumping more oil. But yeah, I just haven't really heard much. I'm hoping that the Davos speeches and stuff will just be a little bit better, because whatever the few that I heard off of CNBC, they really weren't good at all. I mean, like, I feel like I'm not like the most informed person out there on like fundamentals of the entire market and what's going on in the world. I know my tidbits, but there really wasn't much from CNBC that was really good. Let me go over here very fast. I might recommend checking out Bloomberg, but let me just see. Yeah, so I was at the website earlier. Yeah, this is the one. They were trying to. I don't, honestly, guys, I don't care about Ukraine anymore. I just don't. Here we go. Some of these, what to know, some of the agenda stuff. You go over here, and there you go. You go over to the website. This is probably what I would pay attention to. The thing is, and you're going to see this now. See how there's like no red bars because I don't look at it? They chop the videos up into the tiniest things. And I don't want to watch 45 seconds here, 23 seconds here. But they've been doing this, I mean, honestly, forever. Do they have anything light? No, streamed 4 years ago. So it's kind of hard. I might just say look at Bloomberg. They may have some better ones. Trump, New Hampshire, When did Bloomberg start going all into New Hampshire? Shutdown. Oh yeah, there's a potential shutdown, partial shutdown, I think, coming out. No, they only talked about Zelensky. Yeah, this is the one I saw earlier. Or they talked. I saw the thumbnail. Yeah, some interviews right here, but yeah, nothing long. So yeah, there really just hasn't been a lot. I need to figure out where to watch all of it, but I have not been having that luck here. Hey Trev, do I think Dogecoin will hit $1? I mean, eventually it will, but I don't know exactly when. Dogecoin kind of goes through this weird phase where it kind of like goes higher and higher and higher, has a pretty steep drop compared to most other tokens, then it goes higher and higher and higher. So like where you might see another token go up 100%, down 20%, up 100%, down 20%. Very exaggerated numbers, but Dogecoin goes up 100%, goes down 50%, and then maybe one day it just spikes up 500% just like that. Everybody's freaking like, what the hell just happened here? And then everybody's playing catch up. But then after such a move, it crashes down like a whole 100% from that move, and it just causes a lot of chaos. But yeah, I think it'll eventually hit $1. The sooner they change their model to not have so many tokens out there, the better. but it'll definitely take a while for that to happen unless Bitcoin really starts to chug and hit some all-time highs sooner rather than later. I remember watching Elon Musk SNL episode on your channel. Been here since. I appreciate that. It's definitely been a wild ride since then. That was absolutely insane. I had never been so happy to scale out in my life back in the 50-cent range, because that thing just started to plummet fast. Which really sucked, because I feel like there were like probably like, I don't know how many Dogecoin, like at least, you know, tens of thousands, if not like over 100,000 Dogecoin holders, probably even more than 100,000 Dogecoin holders around the world, all watching that one moment where it all started to come crashing down, and it was such a mood killer, wasn't it? And hey, Ibra, definitely a very boring time when it comes to cryptocurrencies right now. I mean, we had all the excitement a couple weeks ago, but right now it's kind of interesting. Like, I think maybe within a couple weeks we'll be happy that we kind of had this calm part here. But honestly, yeah, there's not really much to talk about today, which really sucks, because I was hoping that we might have been breaking out above the 50-day moving average, or you know, maybe testing out some support or something. We're not seeing anything of the like. And most of the news today, I would say, we didn't really have much of the news story. I know last night Trump won Iowa, but I think everybody thought he was supposed to win Iowa. There really hasn't been much news. I think all the news that I saw today was all about politics. I watched a little bit of CNBC this morning, and I didn't frankly listen to most of it. I've been working on that, what have I been working on? The course for you guys. I don't know exactly when it's going to be done, but I'm trying to do a few slides every day, try to like pump it out. I got a migraine the last few days, and I'm not entirely sure what triggered it. So I'm like really ticked off, like easily ticked off lately. Not really much from like anything that the stream could do, but just like, you know, grumpy stuff. Turn into a grumpy old man at this point. So I'm thinking tomorrow I'm going to take a little bit of a break from doing YouTube work besides the stream later on. No, I can't, because I'm doing the TradeZing thing. Okay, so Thursday, I'm going to take a little bit of time off from YouTube during the day in the morning hours, and I'm going to go out with Loki, and we're going to go walk along the beach for like 3-4 hours, and go grab some food afterwards. I'll get him a pup cup or something. I think I'm going to do that. I need to get out of the house. I think because it's been so cold over here that it even snowed a couple times, I just feel like I'm getting stir crazy on top of having a migraine. It's a horrible feeling. But that's why I've been making good tea and stuff like that. I think I'm also going through a little bit of a caffeine withdrawal, so hence the tea. I haven't been drinking so much coffee, but the tea should work out pretty well. I think it should work out very well. That really is good tea. Wow. That's immunity fighter tea. I don't really know if it actually does anything for my immune system, but it says it does, so I'll believe it. Alright, let's go back over here though, because out of Finviz. Oh, out of Finviz. There you go. Out of there. Out of there. Out of there. Let's go back over here. Look at this. So Amazon launches generative AI tool. That's not really big news. The JetBlue Spirit merch is pretty news. I think we may see Spirit actually go bankrupt, and then they get bought up by all the other companies out there. But yeah, there's really been nothing going on today. I mean, we talked about AMD a little bit at the beginning of the stream here, but when I say today's been a boring day, it's very rare to have a boring day. You can see Boeing is down 7% today. That's pretty interesting, but you know, this is a weekly chart, by the way. Boom, boom, boom. You know, I'm probably going to start buying up some Boeing here for a swing play. This has always been something that's been in my retirement account. Whenever I see things like this, I usually sell, or I don't really sell all of it, but I trim some off. I bad back some more. I probably should have bought some today, but I don't think it'll be any worse if I buy tomorrow. But yeah, this poor thing is in free fall. I bought this so many times, like I don't even know. Mostly just when we have these issues, it always comes back because the government literally cannot let this company fail, because this is the company that makes a lot of America's planes and you know, war weapons, you know, aircraft, so to speak. But yeah, I'm watching it closely. But, you know, within like a week, it's come down like 25%. I'm going to take an opportunity to buy some of that up because I don't really think I've heard too much about people not buying their planes. They still have a backlog, I'm pretty sure, and I think it was only one type of plane. So they're going to probably ground a lot of planes, check them out, see if they're doing well, and if everything's okay, their price should kind of skyrocket back up eventually just because they're going to have earnings all the way over here January 31st. The earnings are going to say, hey, we deserve to be above, you know, 180 or 185 or 200, what the price is now. But again, not really much happening besides something like that. But that wasn't even news. That's just the price coming down like like it was before. There we go. And Eber, have a good night, man. I haven't been to Switzerland in freaking forever. Well, actually, I've never been to Switzerland. What am I talking about? I was thinking of a whole different country. But I have yet to go to Switzerland. Alright, guys, I think I'm just going to end the stream right here. It seems like everybody's calmed down. There's not really many questions going on. And I wish the market was better, but if we go over here to this hourly chart, we see that nothing's been happening since the drop-off on Friday. And until we have something more of a move, you know, it's just kind of nothing to really, like, I can't say something really exciting or I can't say something really pessimistic. It's very, very boring. But yeah, I'll see you guys a little bit tomorrow. Remember, I'll put out a post later on today. Make sure that you guys check out TradeZing tomorrow because I will be going live over the Samsung information or the Samsung Expo event, basically where they're showing off all the new phones and stuff. And I'll just be hosting an audio room, which will be pretty chill. Hope to see you guys there. Have a great rest of your night. Sorry for the migraine and the issues at the beginning of the stream. But I'll see you guys tomorrow.